Hello, viewers, and welcome once again to the Woke Africa Show. I would like to say a big welcome to all our existing subscribers, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to our live family. Okay. You guys are always there when I'm on live, and I am so grateful. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The topic for today is really, really exciting. Guys, it's really exciting, and I'm glad you are here. So I'm just going to take like 2 minutes to send out the link. 2 minutes to send out the link, and then we can box on. Welcome. I really do appreciate you for always sticking by this channel. So we're fixing to have an amazing day today. All right. So we're going to be talking about traditional and cultural nuances and misunderstanding between Africa and the diaspora. Traditional and cultural nuances, misunderstanding between Africa and the diaspora. I'm going to be having some amazing panel tonight, but who knows? You can definitely be a well of resource, and you are invited to be a part of the panel. You know, the Woke Africa Show is always about conversation, and therefore, when we gather like this as a family, we share ideas and we talk about things. As I keep saying, the things that are important to us. I'd like to say a big shout to all my Patreons for the support that you give to this channel. I really do appreciate you. And, you know, because of your help, we are able to, afford StreamYard. And I would like to thank you so much. That's how come yesterday I was actually able to show you a video on this line, or, on StreamYard. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate every single one of my Patreons. And hello, hey sister, please click on the link. Yes, welcome, welcome. Akoma Healing Arts Collective is in the house. Please kindly click on the link above and call into the show. Okay, I'm just waiting for some, of our members to drop in, and then we can take it from there. So yeah, just sending this out. Just sending this out to the crew to come in, and we take it from there. All right. All right. All right. All right. So just sharing this with my panel and hoping that they will pop in so we can all, get on. All right. Welcome, welcome to the Woke Africa Show. Today we have a surprise guest who will be coming with us. That is Akoma Healing Arts Collective. Sister Ajua has been amazing. Hello, 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 sweetie. Welcome, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Yes, we're going to be having Akoma Healing Arts, soon once the show begins. And she has a well of knowledge in the nuances, between our cultures as Africa and the diaspora. And I'm expecting, oh, you guys remember David, right? Yes, I'm expecting David. I'm also expecting Ishmael to join us on the show. So you guys, we are discussing the traditional and cultural nuances, misunderstanding, and similarities as well, in the African and the diasporan culture. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Ejewa and I'm your host. Hi, sweetie, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, yes, okay. So you are always invited. If you have a well of knowledge about this, please click this link. Please click this link. Yes. So Sajwa, you see the link I've posted in the chat box. Yes, please just click it and it will lead you to another page and it will bring you to the chat room. So if you can do that, yes. So we are treating some of the differences in culture, some of the differences in between our cultures, and this is also sometimes the reason why there's so much misunderstanding and people end up saying that Africans do not accept African Americans or Black people from the diaspora and all of that. And I can bet you 1000% that this is not the case. I can bet you 1000% that this is not the case. But here is the case where we have a cultural disconnection. And the cultural disconnection is what has actually caused the differences to kind of show when we come together. But then again, we do not want to tiptoe around each other in this return. We do not want to tiptoe around each other. So I would like to know from our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, what are some of the triggers, especially those who have visited Africa, and what are some of the triggers that you have experienced? We would like to know. And then also, welcome, Sister Taki. Welcome to the show. Greetings to you. Welcome, I see you. So if you've been on the continent, what are some of the things that you see that makes you, hello David, hey MJ 34, welcome David, hey David, the link is here calling, I'll be waiting for you. The link is here. Welcome MJ 34. MJ 34, we would love to have you if you can call in, because I know that you have a well of experience. We want to break the ice, totally, completely. We want to break the ice. When the family comes in, hey man, welcome. Woo, the house is lit. The house is lit. We have family members representing. Hi, Mr. Pirate Brain. Welcome, Mr. Pirate Brain. The link is right there. Please do call in. We are talking about the nuances in our cultures, the differences, because we want to break the ice. We don't want to tiptoe around each other. We don't want to, not be able to talk. Yes, MJ34. Please call in. Oh, we know why we're saying it. She is super conscious, and that is amazing. So please call in, and let's talk about this. Yeah, so I'm just kind of like whipping you guys into character. What are some of the things that is a no-no for African American, and what are some of the things that is a no-no for Africans? It doesn't matter where you're from. You can definitely call in to share, your thoughts with us. So, yeah. So, I'm just messaging our panelists. You know what happened today? Today we had electricity problem. Like the power went out and only came back around 8 p.m. So I kind of like had just maybe 2 hours to kind of put things together, and I still, when you have such a short time to come on live, it kind of like, strain you a little bit. But I believe that we are going to have, I'm just waiting for our panelists to show. And oh, okay. I'm trying to see. Okay, so message is sent. Yeah. All right. So I would like to know, even if you're not calling in and you are in here, because for me as a Ghanaian, what will someone say, or someone not from Ghana or from my culture say, to kind of like get me triggered? Okay. What are the main differences? For example, I know in the Akan culture, if you greet an elderly person with your left hand, it is regarded as, disrespectful, and it's a taboo. Okay, you don't greet an elderly person with your left hand. So when it comes to like the social settings, when you come to Ghana and you want to say hi, I see some of some of my African American brothers going like, hey, like, hi, or something like that. No, you don't do that with your left. Okay, in Ghana, you don't do that with your left. If you do that with your left, somebody will take offense in that. But at the same time, too, when you're inviting people to your home who are not, so familiar with your culture, how do you, take offense in things like this? And so, the purpose for this discussion is for us to realize that if there's going to be a cultural exchange, then we must make room for some of these mistakes without necessarily getting triggered. So that is also part of the topic that we are about to discuss. So things like, for example, in Ghana, another thing that I call a cultural no is when you smell food before you eat it. Okay, when you smell your food, let's say you went to somebody's house, they invited you over, they're so super excited, super excited to have you, and then you go to the house, they serve you food, and then you take the food, and then what do you do with it? You take the food and you smell it. People in Ghana, I know for sure, are not going to take kindly to that. It pisses people off. I mean, they're going to ask you, why are you smelling the food? So please kindly know that it's a cultural no to smell your food. Oh my God. Welcome everyone to the Woke Africa show. We're still waiting for our panelists to call in. Please, if you're on and you're a panelist, I have posted the link. If you want to be a panelist because you have a well of knowledge about this, please call in. The link, I've just posted the link to the chat room. So please call in and let's talk about it. Okay. So when you come to Ghana and you get invited, please do not how do you call it? Smell your food. Okay. All right. Another no that people may not really take how do you call it? People may not be so kind to you if you do in Ghana is when you use your left hand to greet elderly. Have I even said that already? Yeah. Remember that your palms, like, okay, so for example, the greetings we've talked about. So another thing is, when you visit a funeral in Ghana, always remember that people greet from right to left, and always with your right hand. If you visit a funeral and you see people going around greeting, exchanging greetings and all of that, you always begin from right to left, and you always greet with your right hand. Please keep that in mind. That is part of the cultural etiquettes in Ghana. Remember that your palms are always poorly aligned for greetings when people when people are going right to left and you are going left to right. So you always have to make sure that you are going from right to the left, because your palms get aligned properly when you greet from right to left. Okay, so remember that. Also, regardless of your age and gender or status in society, you always extend a hand to accept a greetings when people are greeting you in public, especially. Okay, with the exception of, when you're greeting a chief, in a formal setting, you should greet the chief first when you're greeting. When you're going and greeting people, you should greet the chief first. And this will seem very awkward when you enter a room where everyone is lined up on the left wall, because if you get there and you find people lined up and all waiting to greet the chief, it might sound like, hey, what the hell is going on? But you must greet the chief first before you start greeting everyone else in the public area. So these are some of the culture uh, uh, David, Mr. Pirate Brain says, um, Mr. Pirate Brain says, Wodemaya always smells his food first before he eats in his videos. Yes, but even him can confirm to you that he can't go to his mother's dining table and take his food and smell over there. It's not. It's a no. And the reason is because, we believe that when people go to the washroom, oh, sorry, no, not with that one. For the eating, for the smelling of food, it is something within the culture. You cannot smell your food before you eat. It's not nice. It's not, it demoralizes your host. So don't do it. And also, with the greetings, you never greet your people with your left hand, because it is believed that you use your left hand to wipe your behind. You use your left hand to wipe your behind. So, people don't want, to catch on to to anything on your hands when you greet. So you never use your left hand, and it's part of the reasons. This is part of the reasons why you don't. Okay. Um. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know what's happening with my panel. I'm still waiting for Ishmael. Ishmael is really amazing on this topic, and I'm really, really hoping that he joins me. Because he is going to give us so much information on this. He's going to give us so much information on this, and I hope that he's gotten the message. So I'm just going to send him another message. I'm just going to send him another message. I tried calling him earlier and his phone was off, so I don't know what could be happening with him. But he assured me he was going to be on anyways. So let me see. Let me see if I can get to him. Yeah. So, all right. If he is not able to come, I'm sure we can share ideas as we go ahead. Yes. So, I wish I could have Wademaya on. Oh, Akuma Healing Arts Collective. You can call in anytime. Okay, you can call in anytime because and let's talk about. Tell us what you know to keep the conversation going. Someone asked a question here. I'm trying to find the question. It caught my attention. Yes. Hello, David.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm very well. I'm very well. How you doing? I'm so glad you are here. You're actually a panelist, so
Oh,
I'm so glad you're in. Yes, I'm so glad
yeah,
you're in. Yes, and then
yeah.
we have Akuma Healing Arts Collective. Hey family, hey family.
Hey, greetings. Wait a minute, let me
Greetings,
see.
greetings.
Hey,
Okay,
Yeah.
I took my video off because I'm not ready,
Oh, you're not.
but I can speak. I can
yeah, I'm not.
speak.
I'm not feeling too.
Oh, oh my God. Ancestors, please give my panelists the strength and, you know, the momentum to come on and, yeah. So welcome, fam. Like we are talking about some of the cultural and traditional nuances and also some, incidents that may cause a misunderstanding, within our cultures as we are coming back to mix and to live together and all that. I think, diasporans must have know what they have to do
Mm-hmm.
to be able to fit in culturally, and then we must also, uh, you know, um, sort of let our African, brothers and sisters realize that these are people coming to live with us who has been disconnected from our culture. So we must have patience, we must have understanding, and we must be able to accommodate them in any way possible that we can. So, welcome, Dinaz. I see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Please keep the lights coming. Anthony Ofosusaki joined us. Thank you so much, Anthony. You're welcome. I really do appreciate you. So what are some of the cultural differences? Sister Ajua, can you come on with that?
I'm
So we
here,
need to
Sister
take a
Lily.
Miss Manor before we come, huh?
Sorry.
We need to take it before we come, so we can learn the mannerisms and everything.
Oh,
Oh, my
okay.
phone.
What's going on? Okay. Sister Ajua, since you're here, can you enlighten us a little bit about some of the mannerisms, the cultural differences, the do's and don'ts,
Absolutely,
when
absolutely, yes. I thank you, Sister Lily, for letting me know about the show. I'm glad I was able to
thank
make
you.
it in, Madasi.
Welcome.
Um, when I first went to Ghana, back in 2017, I made my first visit, and I've been coming twice a year ever since.
Yes,
But when I
yes.
initially came, I did not. In America where I live, the media portrays, being a black man or specifically the black man. There's a portrayal that we're violent, and we're always violent. So as much
Mm-hmm,
as we feel like we're conscious and we know better,
mm-hmm,
sometimes subliminally we have those beliefs, right? So when I
mm-hmm,
first came to Ghana, my very first
mm-hmm,
night, there was somebody
mm-hmm.
that was trying to sell us products and get us to buy different things. And my husband was trying to tell him, back off. Like, I just got here. Let me get things ready. And I said to my husband, what if he has a gun? Really, it's the funniest thing because this is funny. It's something for us to talk about because they don't, the violence and the carrying the guns, and that's not a part of the culture in Ghana. It's peaceful.
Yes.
And I didn't know that. I didn't know, and that, it said a lot to me about even the messaging and what I believe to be true, being a diasporan. So I had to check those thoughts and really check with myself and erase that kind of thinking.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And
so what was that? What concluded that story that day?
And guess what, Sister Lily? That man and my husband are like best friends.
I see. Wow.
And that our experience in Ghana has been very positive. When I came, I host my tour, and you treated us like we were your blood family. You bought lunch for our tour. You spent time with us.
Oh my God.
It's been a great experience for us.
You guys were amazing, Sister Joa. You guys were amazing. I loved every single one of you guys.
Oh, you were amazing to us too. I can't wait to see you again soon. But you helped us, you helped myself and my travelers understand that we are brothers and sisters.
Yes, we are.
We
are. Yes.
So we have to leave some of our limiting beliefs that we have based on what we learned in America. We have to check that in at the door. That's what I learned from that experience.
Yeah. Wow. I see. So, what was some of the things that you found to be, for example, let's say annoying the first time you got here, and how did you come to change your perception, or still believe that more can be done in those areas?
Oh wow, what was annoying? Okay, I'll tell you what was very annoying for me. And but after traveling for a while, and it's really about doing business and some of the practices. In America, if you go to a place of business and they're slow or you don't like what they're doing, we tend to say, let me talk to the manager. Because you have a problem with a situation. And when we were coming there and dealing with registering our business in Ghana, they move so slow, Sister Lily. They take their time with everything. And I got there with my American mentality, and I was like, I need to see a manager. Is somebody here to help? The man said, I am the manager and I'm having lunch. So you have to wait.
Oh my God.
There's no hurry. So if you want things moved around, you just have to take a deep breath. That was annoying. Huh?
Yeah, I believe you, because customer service is really an area that needs to be looked at.
Yes. I felt like that. I was like, what does he mean? He is the manager. He can't just sit there and eat. It's not video. My husband just came in the room.
Yay!
Greetings.
Greetings. Hey.
How you doing, sis? I'm so glad to be here with you.
Yes, please. I'm really happy to have you as well. We're talking about some of the traditional and cultural nuances, the things that trigger us, both diasporans and Africans, when we come together, and the differences we see, and how we will change our perceptions or kind of like diffuse the misunderstanding or triggers when we experience them. So we're just talking about your some of your experiences in Ghana with Sister Joa, and you just joined us in. So maybe there's more light you can
Add
shed
on.
on that.
Oh well,
Yeah.
most definitely. Most definitely. I mean, being from the diaspora, by the way of Jamaica, and going back to Ghana, I see a lot of similarities in culturally between us, but yet because we've been taken away and we've been here in this Western hemisphere under this white supremacist culture, we see that a lot of our traditional values that we learned or we brung from Africa, we lost, and we adopted a lot of the European ways, right? And so we start looking at
Yeah.
things through a European lens. No matter how cultural or conscious we find ourselves to be, me personally, from my experience traveling to Ghana, and I've been traveling to Ghana since 1998.
Wow.
So for me, being conscious and traveling to Africa, it was still a wake-up call for me, because I still see that we still have some repressed colonialistic mentality that plagues us here in the West, right? And they have a saying that says that when you lie with dog, you rise with flea.
Yeah.
So being in this Western society for so long, generations upon generations, we find ourselves adopting a lot of the colonial masters' ways. So coming to Ghana, like I said, being conscious, thinking that I'm conscious about Africa and this and that. When I got there, it was still a reality shock for me. It was still a cultural shock, because some of the things that cause us here in the West to be bothered by, when I'm there, you guys are not bothered by that. Our brothers and sisters are not bothered by that in terms of time. Everything is moving fast. And when it don't move as fast for you, you get impatient, and then you want to blame that, oh, their system is this and their system is that. But when you think about it, it's more thorough, because you have a human person being thorough and doing their due diligence in their work, versus somebody that's punching a computer on a keyboard, and sometimes they mess up and lose your stuff in the process. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
for me, those are some of my experiences in terms of seeing the difference in terms of how we do things there on the continent versus how we do things here in the West. Now, like I said, coming from Jamaica, I find a lot of similarities into how we do things. Things take time. It's more of a slower pace. People are more patient. People are more willing to help you along the way, as long as you are showing respect to them and giving them that same common courtesy. Here, it's about, I need this done right now, and you need to get it done. I don't care what you're doing, how you do it, just get it done. So there's no value of that person and their time, or respect of that person, right? It's more about you being selfish and trying to get what you need to get done.
Yeah.
And being in Ghana, I see that it's more relatable how the people deal with you. Now, like I said, we've been going to different places and conducting certain businesses, and we see that, hey, if it's lunchtime, it's my lunchtime. You're gonna wait till I'm done, and I'm gonna get to you.
I told her my story.
Right?
Oh my God,
Why here in the States, it'll be like, hey, let me get your manager, let me talk to your supervisor, because I need to get this done, and you're holding me up, and it's like I don't have respect for you and your time, because it's about me, right? So those are one of the nuances that I seen, and I said, look, I have to adjust myself and how I deal with things when I'm dealing with business in Ghana and how they do business, and know that I have to pack an extra set of patience when I'm dealing with certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know, I think that, you know, whenever I talk about customer service in Ghana, I just keep stressing the point that it is a ripe business opportunity, because imagine how many hotels, how many restaurants, how many even businesses would love for their employees to attend customer service training and grooming, you know, to be able to better serve customers and retain customers. You know, that is something that is really lacking you know, there are some places that you go and you get good customer service, but there's also a lot of places that if you have the expectation of the first world country to come here and have that kind of, you know, first class kind of customer service, you might find it a bit disappointing. And it is a huge opportunity for us to look at that area and actually do something serious about it. So, you know, when I think about okay, when I think about what happened, you know, with your customer service experience, where the manager says, "Please wait, I'm eating," it's uncalled for, you know. So I'm just thinking that you went to one of those very carefree restaurants who don't have even any policy written on the wall
Right.
for you to see. Yes. But then again, people must receive the kind of customer service that they need. So I just want to appeal to our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. Like, you know, as our brother said, you need to pack, you know, the pail of patience. You need to pack it bag full before coming to the continent, because you will be tested when it comes to customer service. You will be tested. But again, we know there are problems. We know that Africa is not the, you know, heaven that it should be, and then we all want to come and make it so. So I'd like to ask, how about cultural change? How was your culture, you know, your whole perception about culture? How was it like when you came to Ghana, before you came, and then when you came, what did you see that kind of, you know, gave you some appreciation, or, you know, gave you different kind of thinking about the local African culture?
Well, I mean, prior to me coming to Ghana and traveling to Africa itself, just through the media, right? How the media portray the continent. Every time they show something about the continent, is either a coup, starvation, or war, right?
Yeah.
So those are like the three main pillars of the propaganda machine,
Yeah.
right? Until coming into my conscious self and reading and researching and studying about ancient culture and civilizations in Africa, I get to find out that, hey, a lot of these things are false misnomers that they're using to spread their propaganda machine. And then when I actually went to the continent and visited, then my whole perception changed, because now I'm seeing that, hey, this is a modern place that's building and doing things. It's not like you're seeing villages, not to say that there's no village, but I'm saying the regular, like how they taught the mud huts and the things of that nature. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing a society that's being developed, right? And I see a society that's also been suppressed through different mechanisms like the World Bank, the IMF, you know what I mean, by the colonial powers that was ruling the countries before, still having their neck on our people, right? So this whole George Floyd situation is really a global situation for us as Black people everywhere in the world. Because even right now, being in Africa, you have certain colonial powers like France, right, that still have the neck on the governments of those colonial countries that they once ruled. Like, for example, Benin, Senegal, and some of these places where you see that every dollar spent, they have to send 50% back to France. So that's just literally having your neck, you know what I mean, on the people that you're trying to suppress and oppress. So just seeing that and coming there and understanding that whole factor, it put a lot of things into perspective, because now you can't fall for the illusion, because a lot of us, we want to know that we belong to someplace. And I think us in the diaspora, we feel like we're without a home. Because you're here in America, they don't want you here, right? But if you don't understand your Africanness and understand that where you come from, you don't see yourself in that space. So where do I go? Do I stay here and fight? Since we came off the boat, we've been fighting, right? Before we even come on the boat, we were fighting. When we come off the boat, when we are on the boat, we were fighting. When we came off the boat, we were fighting, and we're still fighting till this day, right? So what are we fighting for, right? So I think like your program, bridging that the gap between the continent and the people in the diaspora, the brothers and sisters in the diaspora, it gives us a sense of belonging. It gives us a sense that, oh, my family wants me. They want me to come home. Now I don't have I know I have an option. My option is no longer say, let me fight for equal rights and justice here in a country that their laws, the system is set to be against us at all times. So how can we fight an oppressive system, right, that set their laws in place? And if you think about it, in America, melanated people of African descent is only 13% of the population. Right? So we're not even a majority. We're still a minority. No. So how can we get equal rights and justice as a minority in a country where the majority is fighting against us?
Yes.
Right? So we have to look for our options. And if we know that we have a place where we see Africa as a continent stretching forth its hands and welcoming us back home, then how can we refute that? Yeah. You know what I mean? We know we have an option. I don't have to stay here. I could take my skills, I could take my talents, I could take my money, and I could go and invest, and we could build our Wakanda. Yeah, you know what I mean? The amenities, the amenities of America is an illusion. Oh, the nice roads, the nice building. We could build that anywhere in the world we go, because our labor is what build this, right? So they're enjoying the fruits of our labor. So we could take our labor and go somewhere else and build what we came here and build, because that's all they brought us here for. They brought us here in the West as labor. They didn't come to say, oh, we're going to share the wealth and share the land with you. You came here as labor. And when we're done with you, we could dispose of you as we please, or keep you in a subservient position to serve us. Yeah. Right? I don't want to be their doormat. So when I see Ghana took the initiative and they did the year of return and the whole event that took place, and how they commemorate and acknowledge we, the children in the diasporans, as family, and welcoming us back home by setting systems in place, like the right to abode, by giving away land, by easing certain restrictions and easing certain things for us to come into the country easier and to do business easier. I think that's a very good first step in reconciliation between home and the diasporans here in the West. I think that's a very good first step.
Yeah. I know you and your family are doing a lot on the continent, and I wouldn't let you off until you tell us about some of the projects that you're embarking on the continent. And do you find that the people of Ghana have been helpful to you? And what are you doing?
Oh man, I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of what we're doing right now, we couldn't do it without the support of our brothers and sisters there. And the thing that I find is that you have good people everywhere, you have bad people everywhere. But to be honest with you, I find genuine people there. So far, everybody that I've been in contact with, I've been doing business with, has been very genuine, right? And I think I've been lucky, or we have been lucky to been put in such positions that we meet people like you, Sister Lily. Right? Our first tour, you came through and you supported our whole initiative. You came, you spoke to our group and told them about investing in Ghana. You tell them about doing business. And trust me, even till now, when we talk to a lot of our tour participants that came with us, they say, hey, that sister was powerful. She gave us a lot of good information, and she opened our eyes to what we need to do when we come in the country. So just meeting people like you and and my other brothers and sisters that we've been doing business with, it made things easier for us.
Wow.
Right. So
Wow.
so far I think we've been blessed. Now now me personally, through learning and understanding the works of reparations and repatriation, right? Repatriation is on two folds. You could do it through government to government, or you could do it from the people to people, right? Which is the grassroots. We chose to take, because we're not a governmental agency, we choose to take the people to people approach, right? So our approach is coming through to help, right? Because in any principles in life, no matter what religious or spiritual background, they say it's better to give than to receive, right? So we came from that standpoint in terms of we went to like 3 different orphanages, and we fell in love with the children. We fell in love with the work that the people who are running these facilities are doing, and we were compelled to help. So we are helping out orphanages. We have 3 different orphanages that we help and we support, right? We support them with water. We support them with school supplies. We're helping them build additional dormitories and kitchen and stuff like that for the children there. We even set up a scholarship fund where we support a couple of children and pay their school tuition for the year in uniforms, right? These are the initiatives that we took, and by doing this, it opened up many more doors for us, because the universe is going to bless you. You know what I mean? Once you start doing good works, things will open up for you. So we just been putting in the work, and through that, the blessings has been coming in terms of opportunities, in terms of meeting good people, making good connections, networking, and getting the right people in place. A lot of things has been opening up for us. So that's the first portion of what we're doing. The second thing is we're doing importing and exporting. We are exporting products from Ghana, like shea butter. We're doing kente cloth. We're doing traditional masks and stuff like that. And we're bringing it here to our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, and we are opening them up to understand African culture and willing to buy African products. And these products turn around and support families back home, right?
Wow.
So they could have an economic source as well. So we have a couple of brothers that we connect with in Kumasi, that they send us products. We sell the products on our website. We go to trade shows. We go to festivals. We set up our booths. We sell these products. And these are ways that we could send back to them for them to sustain themselves, right? And then a portion of our sales we use to go back to our orphanages that we support, right? So we try to keep that circle. We try to keep that money circulating amongst ourselves, right? One of our biggest initiatives that we also have is that we do tours. We do tours to Ghana, right? Once a year. We're now moving it up to twice a year, or we take everyone on the tour and to reintroduce them to the motherland. So they could reconnect. Because that's one thing. It's like the movie Avatar. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Avatar. When they go and they connect themselves to the tree of life, right? That instant connection. That's how you feel when you come to Africa. That's how I feel. I feel like I reconnect with my mother.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like going into the Matrix. It's like coming into the Matrix. It's like you're connected. You know what I mean? Everything feels familiar. You understand? And you can feel like a sense of belonging. So we use our tours. We use our tours to bring people, to educate them. We take them to the slave dungeons. We take them to the last bath. We let them experience the journey that our ancestors went through to be here, right? And why it's so important for us to fulfill that journey to return home, right? Because when we do that, we're not just coming back as ourselves. We're bringing our ancestors with us. Because when they got here, all they wanted to do was return home. So us returning home is a fulfillment of what they were crying for, of what they were wanting to return home. So I feel that duty of us setting up this tour as a way of bridging the gap to educate people, right? On what it is to travel to Africa. Stop flying to Europe and the Caribbean and all. Let's go to Africa. let's go see our people, right? Like when we
Yes.
promote the tours, the first thing people, oh, we going on a safari, we going to see. I said, no, I don't go to Africa to see animals. I go watch that on the TV. I go to see my people, to
Yes.
reconnect with my people.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you. Yes,
So
I get what you mean. I
yeah,
do.
so that's another initiative. Now our biggest initiative that we are embarking on now is to help people to return home.
Wow.
We just closed a deal on some land, and we're doing a
Okay.
development
Wow.
which is called Sankofa Garden Estates, which we're opening up the diasporans for those who want to return home and would like land and would like their houses to be built. We are offering that to our people, and we just closed this
Okay.
deal because we were supposed to be in Ghana in March. We're supposed to come see you, but since the whole COVID
Yes.
pandemic, we couldn't travel. So
Yeah.
right, so we were working on this land deal.
We have
Exactly.
plans.
We were working on this land deal, but we ended
Wow.
up just pushing through. Give thanks for the technology that's there, and our team that's on the ground there, we were able to close out the deal. So now we just closed out the deal within the last 2 weeks, and now we're moving
Okay.
forward with developing our diasporan community. I mean, it's open to all for those who are on the continent, diasporans or Ghanaians who want to be a part of the community. It's open to everybody, but we wanted to give the
Yeah.
opportunity for those who would like to return home but don't have a clue or don't know what to do, to give them, to
Wow.
aid them and assist them in their returning back home.
Wow. 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 This is amazing. So guys, you had him. Akuma Healing Arts Collective is, a couple from the diaspora who are African and are trying to become a bridge connecting the diaspora to Africa, specifically Ghana. They are veterans, okay, because they've been coming to the continent for quite some time now, and now they're bringing people from the US to come on tours in Ghana. So they have experiences locally, and then they are bringing a lot on the table. So they have this, they've acquired this land that you can always contact them. Please, can you share your contact details with us?
Okay.
Can you put it in the chat in case anyone is interested in contacting you, to acquire this piece of property? They can definitely reach out to you if they can get your contact, and I'll highlight it on the screen.
Okay, we're gonna try. We accidentally put it in the private chat. We were trying to do the live comment.
Okay. So I'm going to put it in the main chat. Okay.
Okay, so we don't know. I'm trying to figure how to.
Okay, so you may contact them on the, okay, they're gone. I had some more questions for them. I hope they call us back, because I also wanted to ask them about the food. So if you have, yes, Sim Taylor, that's their website address. Akuma, www.akumahealingarts.org. So you may find all the information that you need to find about Sister Ajua and her husband over there. They are an amazing couple, amazing people. They are in love with African arts and culture. They're into dance. They're into everything related to Africa. And I just must say that I really commend them, because they have done a lot. As at some point they were, hey, at some point they were a couple you would yeah. So this is a fabulous couple. Akuma Healing, yeah, you're looking perfect, sis. You're looking perfect. Yeah, come back. You're looking perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, you're looking great. That is your crown, sis. You're looking amazing. So I wanted to ask, so I've actually put, someone was asking for, someone was asking for, could you ask him what his number or email is?
Oh,
So
yes.
if you have an email or a number, you can just put it in a comment. A number that you want your client to reach you on is a public number. So you can put it in the comment section and people can note it down.
We weren't able to comment. It's saying when I click the chat, it says private chat. I don't know. I'll try it.
Okay. Try it. If it doesn't work, please put it in a private chat and I'll share it.
Okay, let's see. I just sent it.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I've got it. Okay, great. So their email.
Yeah, that's our email. But all our contact information is actually on the website.
Yeah. So guys, I've put their email address here. For me, I love to support Black business. I love to support Black business, no matter how big or small our family is, it's better that we support each other. We, how do you call it? Patronize each other's business. And even when you have online, Black family like that, you need to support each other's work to help push each other forward. So please send them an email and ask them every question that you have. And I'm sure they can definitely get in touch with you. So in Africa, how was entertainment for you in Africa?
Oh, entertainment. We love Akuma Village. We went to a upscale party on Labadi Beach called Funky Fresh. Funky and Fresh. Do you know that? We went to the Labadi Beach Resort.
Oh, yeah, Labadi Beach Resort. I mean, that's a
like
place to go.
That's like upscale and really, really like. And then Akuma Village was more like down to earth and, but we had fun.
Oh, trust me, that's what I'm saying. We all wanted the same. When I come to Ghana, the entertainment or nightlife is exceptional.
And we love Jamrock Cafe. We got to big up our sister over there.
You guys know how to party just like we in Jamaica, so trust
me. Did you experience Thank God It's Friday?
No.
Oh.
Next time when we come, I know there's a rooftop club as well that we got to check out when we come back. So there's a lot of places we heard of. When we left, we finally heard about these places. So we definitely had to put it on our list of places to go when we come.
Mm-hmm.
It's always lit. Hey, it's always lit in our Fridays. So, Sister Ajoa, there's a question here. And Now I'm Good says, what can African American repatriates or repatriates do for work? Can we become cab drivers or own transportation companies? What can we do? So what would you like to say about that?
I mean, I recommend that people think about visit and think about solutions and create businesses around those solutions. There's tons of cab drivers in Ghana. So Chotro and
right, but I mean why reinvent the wheel, right? When you could probably elevate that wheel to be better. Mm-hmm. So us being in the diaspora who's learned certain trades and certain skills and have certain knowledge in innovation and technology, we need to bring these skills back home and train our people, teach them.
Yeah,
right.
We can create training programs,
right? Like you spoke earlier about customer service.
You can create human resources program. To put these things in place. You can teach businesses about development. Graphic design, I noticed, is something that would be good. There are so many. I recommend that you visit and scope everything out and see where your niche is, and that's it. There's no
right. Anywhere there's a need and you could come up with a solution for that,
you have to implement it.
Then you have a stream of revenue for business.
But it's untouched, it's untapped territory. It's not saturated like it is here. So I see the
Yeah.
children looking. I see our children looking where we have to go. We're prepared. It's dinner time here. So
Okay. All right. Okay. So thank you so much. It's been amazing having you. And I'm so glad that we could talk about your various projects going on in Africa.
thank you.
And we hope that the borders open
Oh, we
soon,
can't wait.
because yeah, there's a lot for us to do here in Ghana. Okay.
Yes,
So
I heard we're around July, August. So we're just
We're hoping. Asking ancestors to open the borders quicker.
yes. Yeah, they have to open it a lot more quicker than
Most definitely.
yes. So thank you so much for coming on, and I love you guys so much. Mr. Medasipa. I love you guys so much.
love
My love to
you.
Love
the
you too,
See you
Sister Lisa.
soon.
Take care.
Okay.
of course.
Love,
So
love.
see you soon.
Okay.
Wow, that was an amazing couple. The first time I met this couple was, I think, online. I think I might have seen their comment on a program I watched on YouTube, and then I decided, oh, I like these people, and I realized that they also had a similar program going on. So I contacted them, and I was like, hey, I'd like to collaborate with you on my channel to see what's going. So we started talking, and after some time, it seems that the connection grew. And when she came to Ghana, and I went to meet her, ooh, I'm telling you, at the Micklin Hotel, it was amazing. Like, they had this cultural troupe on the ground. The people were lit. They were happy to come here because I told you they're so much into African dance and drumming. So the hotel was lit the whole time. And it was such an amazing time. And the whole time that I was with them, I just was asking myself, what can I do to help? And I think that is what you will find in the continent. You find that the nuances really isn't really that much, because first of all, the moment that you talk and people hear you, an African person with a different accent, they kind of like have an idea what your background could be. They have an idea that you could be coming from the diaspora, or you could be coming from a country from the Western countries or something. And so sometimes they relax their expectation for you to be politically correct or culturally correct, and they kind of like go with the flow. And you find that some of them would be even would be teaching you. Ooh, I'm sorry. This is usually my sleeping time, so this happens. You'll find that some people actually be teaching you. Okay, if they find that what you are doing is wrong, they can, for example, if you're going to greet somebody can quickly whisper in your ear, make sure you use your right. For example, if you eat fufu with a spoon, somebody can tell you, hey, here we like to eat fufu with our hand. It's like paying a homage to the culture when you eat fufu with your hand. And I'm sure if you've been to Ghana before and you've been to a chop bar before or a local restaurant before, you find out that people enjoy their traditional cuisines with hands. Not for the lack of spoons, though. It's just that is what has been carried down from generation to generation. So these are some of the do's and don'ts. Well, I wouldn't say do's and don'ts, but these are some of the things to, you know, take note of. So you have to realize that starting times for any event, okay, any occasion, whatever you're doing, be it birthday, be it a party, be it like whatever you're doing, the times are not exact as stated on an invite. If somebody invites you to a wedding and they say it's 2 p.m., we all know that is African time, okay? So you may, if you go by the Western time, you may actually get there before 2 p.m. because you'll be expecting the wedding to start at 2 p.m. and you may find that it might actually start at 3 or even sometimes 4. You know, depending on who this couple is and who that entire family is, you know. But that is some of the things you may come across. That is not to say that is how everything is, because people are really trying to improve when it comes to time. But you will definitely experience some of this time delays and, you know, people not showing up on time and people delaying you from time to time. And so you should know that if you are coming to live on the continent, you cannot develop a heart attack over that, because it's going to happen to you more often than not. And it's not something we all like, even it's not something we on the continent like. But at the end of the day, these are some of the things we need to work on. So if you, for example, if you come to Ghana, you may find that people come a bit late, or sometimes, you know, and that is, hey, traveling photographer, please call in, brother. I want my Ghana people to call in and share some of the, you know, cultural shocks or disappointments, or, you know, that our brothers and sisters may experience on the continent, and how they should try to diffuse the emotions that come with it so that we can have some kind of harmony. So wait. Okay, so traveling photographer, if you have any points, you can join in. Okay, so I'm just going to be telling you about some of these. Okay, so there's something about dressing in Ghana. Okay. What did I say? And I think it's not just in Ghana. Okay, it's across the cultures. If you come to Africa, okay, and you're visiting the chief's house, you're visiting your in-laws, you should be mindful what you put on. Okay, so let's say that a large kind of trousers, or, you know, an appearance for you to look presentable, it may not always have to be like, you know, formal dressing, but, you know, formal casual is always the best. Okay, formal casual, or maybe casual, is always the best. If you're visiting your in-laws for the first time in Ghana, it's not part of our culture, or it's not something that is too acceptable or promoted in our culture for men to be wearing earrings. Okay, so if you're a guy and you have a stud that you wear when you go out with your friends or something like that, your in-laws might not receive that quite, you know, on a high side. So it's part of the things you should consider. Okay, it's something you should ease in on them, because if you are an African American woman, you're visiting your local Ghanaian fiance's family for the first time, please don't go with hot pants, or you want to show them what their son got. No, modesty. You have to dress up in a modest way. It doesn't even matter, and say, oh well, that is not me. It's not me to you know, be fully clad and wear long sleeves, or, you know, it's not me. But the point is, it's not about who you are. Either is you or is not. It's about showing respect to your elderly. Showing respect to the elderly in Africa is very, 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 very important. Okay, so we must always think about that, showing respect. So especially when it's the first times, okay, you need to listen to your partner before you visit your in-laws. Since you are new, how you should dress, how you should greet. Also, never greet with your left hand when you go to your in-laws' houses. It is not okay. So Imam said in the States we call it CP time. Yes, CP time. Oh, yes, thank you. You know, fam, waist beads, you know, it's called ahwenye. Waist beads, ahwenye. It is for our ladies, okay? If you're married to a Ghanaian man, if you're married to any man from Africa, I don't know about other cultures, but waist beads is a big thing. Some men really don't care. They don't really care whether you have some waist beads or you don't. But there are some men, especially those who are very traditional. If you're looking for a Pan-African man, you should know that waist beads is a big deal. Okay. So when you get to the continent, there are nice, sexy ones that you can get, very portable ones, and there are also some really big ones, you know, that you can get and put on. It's kind of like it's seen as something that entices your man to you. I mean, it has this erotic kind of way of, you know, between a couple, you know, a husband and a wife. So waist beads is something you should definitely consider to spice up your relationships. And yeah, so now I'm good. It's asking, how is healthcare? What are good policies to have? Well, do you mean healthcare policies, or what kind of policies are you talking about? I'd love to hear more about that. Well, in Ghana, I would say that we have relatively good healthcare. Okay, and some of the diseases that travelers are most worried about is malaria. And malaria is something that you know, yes. Hey David.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
Oh, good to have you on again.
Nice, thank you.
Guys, he
It's
knows his
nice to be here
stuff,
again.
okay? He knows his stuff, and I loved him. The last time he was on, I loved every bit of, you know, contribution he gave, and so I was on him. Hey, you've got to come, and he's here today. So I'm sure he will kind of like add more to, you know, what we are discussing today. So what I was saying was that you know, hey, Akwaba David, what
Thank you.
It's good. Sometimes our brothers and sisters want to hear us speak the local language, you know. It kind of like makes them feel like, yeah, with real brothers and sisters from the
Yes.
continent. Yeah. Okay, so I'm talking about healthcare, and I was referring to the fact that most of the, you know, a lot of people fear malaria when they're traveling to you know, the continent. But I was diffusing the fear because we've got some of the best malaria doctors in the country. You know, because we've had years and years and years, you know, dealing with this disease.
Yes.
Our doctors have become experts at treating malaria. So that is something that you should never worry about. And I advise that when you get malaria in Ghana, don't even make the mistake of traveling back to the state for healthcare. That is the worst mistake you make. You should just go to Kolebu Teaching Hospital, or you should go to 37 Military Hospital, or any private clinic that you may have insurance with, and they definitely going to take care of you. There are also a lot of insurance, health insurances that you can take advantage of. There are private ones, and then there's the national health insurance, which you know, provide up to a limited cover on health. So you can also look at that. So Yes, I hope I answered your questions. And if you can come, let us know what kind of policies you're talking about. I'll definitely answer that. Um, yes, Iman. Yes, we talked about the beats. So, hey, okay. So now that you're here, David, what is
Yes.
the value of waist beads to the African man?
Well,
Yeah, we're talking about that one.
okay, let me start by saying this. Bees is not just something you just put on as a woman. I've had the privilege to sit in the midst of married men who talk about the importance of their wives wearing beads. Beads kind of it has some form of it sexually attracts your man, if you put on beads. But every man has a difference as to how important beads is to them. For instance, some men don't like it when they have their wives don't put on beads. They themselves they go and buy the beads for their wives. That's why they call it toma. Tom means buy.
Yeah.
They call it toma for a reason. Mind you, it is only your husband or your man that has the right to buy beads for you. Your male friend can't buy beads for you. It is not because in the privacy of your room, he's not the one who's going to look at it. It is your man. So he goes to the market or he goes to town. He sees the beads that he wants and it is nice, and he buys it for you to put it on. So in the privacy of the room, when you take your clothes off, they say, "Okay, there's my wife." Understand? So it kind of adds some kind of should I say an extra beauty to the woman, especially when the bead is around her waist in the room. So talking to these married men, they really show the importance of beads. Some of them they don't find they will not even go close to their wives if the wife don't put on beads. That is how serious and how important it is for the traditional African man to have his wife put on beads. So that's the least I'm going to say about beads. I don't want to get in trouble.
Oh, well, don't worry. When you get in trouble, I'm definitely going to absorb you for that. So you have nothing to worry about. I mean,
Yeah.
I will take it. I will take the blame. So um the traveling photographer is saying, okay, so in Ghana, waist beads is part of our identity as Ghanaians, and research has also provided that the number of waist beads you wear determines the number of kids you have in future. Whoa, please, David,
I didn't
come
know
in
that
on this.
one.
No, I've never heard this.
I
So
didn't know that one, but I think yeah, it could be people wear more. Some women wear a lot of beads around their waist, so maybe it could be mostly married women. They are the ones who wear a lot of beads. So it depends on I think who. I'm sure that the amount of beads or the number of beads that a woman will wear, will determine if the person is single or married or not. So
oh, really?
oh yeah, I'm sure there's a truth in that as well.
Wow. So
But
how many beads does married women wear and how many does single women wear? I don't know about that either.
for that one, even from the little I've heard from the married men, and even sometimes listening to, older women talk,
Mm-hmm.
is that sometimes a woman, depending on the age or the stage they are in life, will determine the kind of beads they put on. You see, some of them, in the olden days, some women had golden beads around their waist.
Okay.
You know, so some of them had different types of beads made from different types of materials. That would
Mm.
determine. So I don't think that, because let me say, for instance, if you're a single woman, you're not obviously married. So you're not supposed to, should I say, do something to attract a man towards you unless you're married. So this is something that I kind of spice up a relationship. So if you're a single lady, I don't think that you have to be putting in too much beats as compared to someone who is married. So yeah, so that's the difference. So for the woman in the diaspora, if you come and a Ghanaian man approaches you, you should know the importance. Yes, you may not have been brought up with it, but it is something that men here cherish it. They cherish it a lot. Yeah.
So there you have it, ladies. The men in Africa, in Ghana, they cherish waist beads. So if you are not a waist beads fan, or you've not been in the practice of wearing it, maybe you would want to surprise him one day,
But
with that.
that was yeah. But I'm saying that I think they will love it because once they do, it's going. I think it would be nice for. I think they should try it. The women in America, those in the diaspora, they should try putting on beads. They should surprise their husbands once in a while and see how things turn out. Because I've heard literally how beads have saved marriages in the African society.
Wow.
Beads, yes.
Really? Can you share some of the stories with us?
Definitely, I can. Okay,
My
so
ears are itchy, David.
so, so there were men whose husbands weren't getting close to them, like they wouldn't even look at them. While when they go to the room at night, in the privacy of the room, they won't look at them because the husband simply didn't find them attractive because they didn't have beads on. Okay, so then there was this woman who had that same problem and spoke to the grandmother about it. She complained, my husband is not really paying attention to me these days. He is distant, he's this, he's that. And then they had the old lady asked her, do you put on beads? Like, how do you dress when you're about to go to bed? I was like, well, I just take my bath and just, sleep. It was like, no, you need to attract your man. Men are moved by the things that attract them. So it's not only when, like the thing he saw about you that made him approach you and propose to you, you should be doing the same thing. That when you are out in public with him, most especially when you are in the room with him. So he said one of the best things you can use to attract your man is put on beads. Beads that are very beautiful, beads that, that doesn't speak. They say that are in the pancas. So
I'm in the I'm in the pancasa.
yeah, so um, the old lady advised, so she showed her exactly what type of beads she should put on. We have big beads, we have beads that are very small, we have beads that are very big. So I think she told her what type she should wear, she should put on the waist, and she should make it a little bit loose and let it rest on her, excuse me to say, her buttocks. You don't have to wear it tight around the waist. You have to let it rest on your buttocks. That looks nice to a man. Okay, so she listened and she did it, and then she did it in such a way that she just walked in the front of her husband, and that was it. The husband was like, "Oh, so you have been on," so and a conversation between, and all of a sudden the husband was interested. So beads is very very interesting. So black women are, they say, they're endowed, and
Yes.
behind. So I think putting a bead is like putting a chain around your neck. So it's something very attractive that men find, especially men on the African continent. And I'm sure not even men on the African continent, but I think men in the diaspora, black men in the diaspora, will really appreciate it if they see. So the women listening should try it and see. They should do something like that for their husband,
Yeah. So
and they will see
ladies,
a difference in their marriage, the relationship with their
ladies,
husband.
ladies, if you are listening, okay, beads is one of the cultural uh differences that may exist between our two
And
um
I don't mean to cut you off, but let me put on and say this. It doesn't take a lot to attract an African man. You don't have to, should I say, overdress and put on too much makeup. It is all about the little things that you have to really pay attention to. When we're dealing with an African man, a man that was raised here on the continent. Okay, so if you learn how to do some of these little things, even if it is in his mouth, he'll remove it and give it to you. That's what I'm going to say.
Wow, wow. So that's what he's saying. This channel, we always talk about relationship and we talk about dating on the continent because so me as a Jewa, I really believe that one of the ways to unify our, with our brothers and sisters on the continent and the diaspora is also not just business or commerce or real estate or any of those things. It's not just those things.
Hmm.
It's also about relationship. It's about love. It's about romance. It's about marriage, and it's about actually seeding our or rooting our seeds in the soil of Africa. And so, relationship is very interesting topic for us
Hmm.
whenever we discuss this. All right. So, David,
Hmm.
I had some of my members asking about health. Okay.
Hmm.
And when
Hmm.
you came, I was trying to answer the question about malaria. And then he
Hmm.
sent a follow-up question saying that should we get malaria shots or take the pills or don't do any?
Well, what I'm going to say, let me first of all talk about the healthcare in Ghana in general.
Mm-hmm.
Over here in Ghana, you're not limited to a so-called hospital. We have two types of hospital. I've not been in hospital for for a long time. Okay. I know that in America it's a culture that you have to once in a while you have to go for a checkup. You have to go for a doctor's appointment. That is also good. But over here in the old, growing up, my mom used to prepare this herbal drink for all of us in the family. Like
Okay.
I don't know if you had it. Sometimes they'll prepare it and then they will divide lime, sometimes lemon, and then
Mm-hmm.
they'll put it and then they will sometimes at the back of pineapple to add a bit
Yeah.
of taste to it. So what they'll
Mm-hmm.
do is that when you are about to go to bed, you drink it,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
that helps, take care of you. So that more or less like it cleans your system whilst you're sleeping. So when you wake up in the morning and you are, urinating or you are going to the bathroom, it really excretes a lot of, dirt out of your system. So in Ghana, you're not limited to only for the hospital. You can also take personal responsibility for your health. You don't have to wait to get
Yeah.
sick before you go to the hospital. And even when it comes to the hospital, you have two types of hospital. You can decide to go pure herbal, or you can go to where they give you pills and injections and drips and the rest. So you have options. You're not limited. And also behind that too, you yourself can research and pay attention to your health. As long as herbal herbs is like because herbal medicine
Okay.
is cheap. Over here,
Yeah.
there's herbs for everything. Nothing, I know that in America, it is either pills or
Mm-hmm.
a doctor giving you prescription. But over here, you can take personal responsibility for your health. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
necessarily wait and fall sick before you go to the hospital. There are things you yourself can do that can help you put the put the not go and see the doctor. So if you realize that if you look at most of the food we eat, most of the spices we use in our food on the continent is pure herbal. If you take
Yes.
coconut leaves, for instance, we use it for stew, we use it for all kinds. If you look at some of the soup we prepare, it is very medicinal. And even the
Yes.
fats we eat, it is easy that people are eating a lot of this fast food, but for instance, if I'm making groundnut soup, for instance, you let the groundnut boil, and the groundnut itself produces its own natural fats.
Oil. Yes.
Yes, which is healthy for the body.
Mm-hmm.
So, talking about malaria, there are preventive measures you can take when you get on the continent. We have a lot of insecticides products that you can use. You can, but it all depends on your environment and how you are, you know, how you take care of the environment where you are staying. Are there any water bodies around? Are there any grown weeds over there? So you can decide to sleep in a mosquito net. You can decide to spray your room, your bedroom, an hour or 2 hours before you actually go to bed. You see,
Yeah.
so and also make sure you don't overcrowd your room so much, so that mosquitoes can land. But and then you can take preventive measures.
Yeah.
And even if you have malaria, you can go pure herbal. The herbal medicines are very powerful. Just take a few tablespoons at night. You sweat throughout the night, and when you wake up in the morning, you feel relieved, and you are good to go. Okay. So, and also there are a lot of things that you can also do to boost your immune system also on the continent, because when you are on the continent, most of the food you get are organic. Okay. Every day, me for instance, every single day, I make sure that I drink coconut in the morning.
Yeah.
I have my choices that yes, I drink coconuts every morning sometimes before breakfast or after breakfast. Every day. Or sometimes I buy the big mangoes. My grandfather made me love them, so it's something that I really do. I don't like pineapple very much, but
in the body in the morning.
So every day, every morning, coconut juice, and the coconut food itself.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you
they shouldn't
so
really
much.
worry about malaria or any other disease. They should come. They should come with the mentality of being herbal. There are lots of things they themselves can do on their own. There are herbal medicines they can prepare. They can boil leaves. They can dry leaves and boil leaves, and then they can drink it. You don't have to wait till you are sick before you take care of your health. That is something that they should. But because there are people here who haven't been to the hospital for years, and they are as strong as you could. You can get. Okay, because every evening they are drinking something. They are drinking a herbal tea. They are boiling herbs, and they are drinking the water out of around the herbs. So health, you're not limited to health. Is not expensive on the continent. It is expensive when you wait and you fall sick. That's when healthcare becomes expensive. But if you come here with a few CDs, you should be all right. If you take care of yourself, you should be okay.
And for me, for malaria, one thing I know about malaria is that if you've never had the diseases, the malaria disease, your body's ability to fight it or to create antibodies to fight it may be a little bit challenged. So for me, I just would advise that if there are any shots that you can get before you come, you should. If there's a pill that preventative pill that you want to bring or shots that you want to bring, I mean, I won't say no, because sometimes for us, you and I, David, like for me, I've had malaria how many times? I can't even count. I've had malaria so many times. I can't even count it. And so we've kind of built the immune system for it. We've kind of we are like robust against malaria, okay? Because malaria was supposed to wipe all of us out, but guess what?
There have been times where I had malaria. I didn't take any medication for it. All I did was take a lot of fluids.
See? Hello? Hello, David.
What? But yeah, I'm here. Sorry, it's my network active. I'm saying there has been times where I got sick with malaria. I didn't take any medication. All I did was I drank a lot of water, and that was okay. So, but
that shows how resilient your immune is.
Different for them because they're not used to but it's not anything scary. It's just just being careful, but even if they have malaria, it's not something that they can't yeah, it will shake their system up a little bit, but they'll be fine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
health is cheap. It's not like you have to pay
If you're
thousands and
proactive.
thousands.
Yeah.
Things that yes, there are ways that you yourself can take care of yourself. It is one of my goals to actually set up a lab that will do strictly herbal research.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, I believe
That's
that
amazing.
I believe that there are lots of herbal herbs that we have not even discovered yet. Honestly,
Oh, yeah, it's true.
because this is Africa. Herbs grows indiscriminately, like commonly. It just grows like that, and you don't know how valuable it is unless someone tells you. This is how valuable it is. I've had my mom use herbs on me when I know I had my thumb got so swollen,
Yeah.
and she used herb, like she ground this herbs, and then she used it to tie my thumb like this, and after 3 days everything went away. So I've had some pretty interesting experiences with herbs growing up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I also love my herbs. Okay, I love my herbs. Like, I remember my grandmother would do papaya. No, not
Hmm.
papaya. Avocado leaves
Hmm.
and cocoa leaves. Okay, cocoa
Hmm.
leaves and avocado
Hmm.
leaves for, like, and then she will add ginger, lemon, and other things for immune, to boost our immune and
Yeah.
improve our hemoglobin and all of
Hmm.
that. And she used to do this when we were sick with malaria. We would drink neem tree, which is bitter. That is where I
Hmm.
developed my hatred for neem tree, because it is so bitter. Oh my God!
Well,
Like,
that is the unfortunate part about herbal medicine. It is bitter, but it is potent.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So how about they take away the bitter taste though? Can't anybody like help us with that?
You see, that's
You
why
know?
sometimes they add fruits to it to make it a bit sweet, like pineapple, mango,
Oh,
guava.
trust me, it doesn't work. It
Uh,
doesn't work with neem tree. Neem tree is like the king or the goddess of bitter taste. Okay, neem tree is
yes,
the goddess of bitter taste. Like, when I drink neem tree for the next 2 days, I would still
it's so
smell
pure.
everything I
Mm,
eat like neem tree. Like,
yeah,
it gets in
powerful.
my chest, and it wants to come. It's so bitter. My body will be trying to get it out of my mouth. That's how bitter. But
Yeah.
it's the most powerful, most potent
Hmm.
herbal preventative, malaria drug out there. Like, you can't
Oh
beat
yeah.
neem tree. You
Yeah.
can't beat it.
Hmm.
You can't beat it. So
Shouldn't worry
yeah.
about malaria. There are lots of herbal hospitals all over the place in Ghana.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not very, it's not really big deal. They should be fine. When you take personal responsibility for your health over here, as I said, health here could be very cheap. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
expensive. It could be very, very,
Yeah.
very cheap. So I mean,
Yes.
it all depends on what you want to do and how important your health is for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You shouldn't
Yeah.
worry about malaria or anything at all.
Yeah. So the traveling photographer is online, and I'm curious to ask him, because he said something about uh beads, that I hadn't
Hmm.
heard about before. So I need
You're
I need
obsessed with
you
the
to.
beat.
He said the number of beats you wear determines the number of kids you will have in future. Like, I'm like, what?
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me, Salom? Hello, Salom. Hello, Salom, are you there? Okay, I'm sure he will call. He will call back in, if he can. Okay, so let's just move to move forward. Okay, so I'm just going to read a
It's
few
slow.
comments. Enije, the life lover, says that boosting your immune system is natural. Boosting your immune system naturally is important. Yes, it is. Felicia Siedu says they give malaria pills to take once a week when traveling to Africa. All right.
Yeah.
Now I'm good says yellow fever. What are the symptoms of that in Ghana? Do you know? Yellow fever.
Yellow fever. I've never had a yellow fever
Yeah,
before, so I don't know.
I really don't
But I
know
think
how it looks
but
like.
the major symptoms is like your the color of your eyeball becomes yellow. It turns yellow, and you become a bit pale. Once you become pale, and your eyeball also becomes yellow.
Oh,
So
really?
that's how you get to know that you have yellow fever. Like you can actually
Oh, I
see
see.
the fever on your eyeball. So that's the first indication that
Oh,
people have
that
when they
you
have
may have. Okay,
yeah.
well,
So
that's something I really have to look into because I haven't met anyone who has ever had yellow fever. So I don't
okay, well,
know.
when when I was a kid, I used to see some of my friends. Sometimes they had it, and sometimes they do herpes and they are okay. It's more or less like malaria, but this one it actually makes you a bit pale and your eyeball turns yellow.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so there's one other thing that you may want to take into consideration. Like, for example, when you come to Ghana and you enter a room, everybody will be looking at you because they will be expecting you to greet.
Yes.
And tell us about why is greeting so important to Ghanaians, Ghanaian culture.
Okay. There has been times where greeting has literally saved people's lives.
Wow.
Simply saying "machin" or "maha," "majo" has literally saved people's life. For instance, there are times where if you're going somewhere, let's say you are going to the end of the road and you see someone coming, and something has happened, then there has been instances like that
Yeah.
where something happened and you know uh, they like you don't know because you are going, someone is coming from there, but you don't know. You're gonna want to go with them. And you meet someone coming, you
Yeah.
don't greet the person. The moment you greet the person responds and tells like, "Where are you going?" "Oh, I'm going." "No, don't go there." This happens. For instance, even on the road, drivers who don't know themselves, like truck drivers, when they see something, they honk at each other. The moment they do that, or the moment you greet someone with a honk, they tell you the police are there. Do you have a
Mm-hmm.
license? Is your license up to date? Is your insurance up to date? If it's not up to date, you want to use the other route so that you avoid. So greeting here is very important because sometimes just greeting someone can get you to your life or can
Yeah.
get you out of danger. So it
Yeah.
is
And
very important to greet.
yeah, I would like to add to that because I think people actually really get offended when you walk into a room where people are and you just enter and just go and sit. Or when you
Mm,
enter a building, you see people, you don't greet anybody because you think where you're you know where you're going.
mm,
So you don't
mm,
need to talk to anybody. Then you get to your
mm.
destination and you find out that you were wrong. You actually need help to get where you're going.
That
Sometimes
when
when
it
you come
yeah,
back,
really
yeah, when you
yeah.
come back to talk to the people you just passed
Like
without greeting,
no, you really
they
see
will
human
just,
beings here when
yeah,
you
they
come
will
with
just keep looking at you whilst you talk, and you will think, you know, can they hear
they have
me
an
or are
attitude
they,
or anything.
yeah, but
No,
greeting is so important in
it's
the culture.
important.
So,
It's
hi, good
important.
morning, or hello, good afternoon. Even if you don't know the person, it's just the only thing that is left that actually connects us culturally. It's the only thing that
Mm,
the Europeans did not take away when they brainwashed us and
mm,
changed us. Okay,
mm.
so greetings is the thing that helps you to identify that Africans are really, really, really connected and we are a family. Okay, so
Mhm.
greeting is very important. If you don't greet people,
Yes.
they think you're arrogant. They think you have uh, a sense of entitlement, or
Mhm.
you've got your nose stuck up in the air. Yeah, Felicia
Mhm.
Asiedu even added it. He says that is rude. So for you not to greet when you meet with people, sometimes you might just be passing by, you see people sitting by the roadside. You want to say hi, good afternoon, because anything can happen to you. And if you
Yeah.
didn't greet them, they may just leave you to fend for yourself. I
Yeah.
don't know, but you may find that weird. You may find that like, well, must I go around greeting people? Yeah. You may have to
Mhm.
like reconsider. Nobody is gonna force you to greet anybody if you don't want to, but you should know that people really appreciate it when you acknowledge them. So
Yeah.
greeting people, I think, is really about acknowledgement and saying that I see you. Okay, so
Mhm.
it's
But
part of
it's
the
also
culture.
and
Yeah,
it also
please.
depends on where you are. That should be. I'm not saying that you find a market, you are walking around thousands of people, you should be greeting everyone. But
No.
sometimes when people are sitting in groups, you greet them. When they're
Hmm.
walking by someone, you greet them. When you
Yeah.
go to a place, it depends on where you are. When you are
Yeah.
in the house and you wake up with people, you greet them. So I
Okay.
think
So
it's
this next question that I'm about to ask is one that I wish I had, one of our diasporan brothers or sisters on, so they can bring their perspective. Okay.
okay.
What is the differences in asking people out within our culture?
Hmm. Well, it is today that this whole thing dating has become some kind of a popular thing. Everyone say, I'm dating, let's go on a date. But it wasn't like something that we used to do. Yes, people used to go out, all right, but it wasn't like it's as it is today. But the things have changed. So,
Okay.
but let me say that if you come from, let me say, for a man in diaspora, you come and you see a lady here and want to take her out, she'll go out with you, but that doesn't mean that you get to sleep with her. Sometimes Americans say that I don't give up the cookie on the first date or whatever. But you don't even get to even ask for the cookie. You see, you know, and I say this because you know a woman is not a snail you find by the roadside or you found in the forest. A woman here is a royal to the family. Okay, a woman here belongs to a family. No matter how bad the woman is a royal to their family. So you just don't come and because you think you asked her out, you should have the way no the chance to sleep with her. It doesn't work like that. So dating, yes, ask a lady out, but be sure that you are asking a lady that you really like out, not just you just want to have something to with her and you just drop her like that. Over
Okay. So
here,
in
you can do
translation,
that.
hello, can you hear me, Salon? Are you online?
I think he's having a
Salon, can
problem
you
with
hear
his
me?
Yes, I'm online, but
the
the
network.
network is behaving a bit. But
Yeah,
can you
because
hear me?
yes, we can hear you. Welcome.
Mhm.
Okay, so are you saying that in fact are you saying that I hope I can go PG here, but are you saying
Okay,
that
all right.
um
Thank you. A very
African
warm good
American
evening
men
and good afternoon
when
to
they
Mhm.
everyone.
okay. Salon, can you hear me though? Can you hear me? Hello, Salon, can you hear me? Hello. Sim, it says your devices are not connected, so maybe you should put in an earpiece or something.
Mhm.
Um, I'm unable to add you because it says your devices not connected. So yeah, okay, we can see you now. So we are talking about dating, okay? And I would like to know how men. Okay, I think my audience would like to know how an African man asks a woman out, because when you get to the point that for me as a woman, when I get to the point when I say I'm dating you, we've gone way past the point of asking. Okay.
Mhm.
So, like, because in this day of sexual harassment and in this day of, you know, women knowing their rights and all kinds of things, I just want to know, like, the traditional, typical African man, how does he ask a woman out? In today's modern time where, everything is computerized and is a global village and every girl wants to be treated like a Hollywood actress. How how is it? I also want to know, Sim, if you could call in again, I'd really appreciate that, because I want to know from your society or your community, how do you ask women out, so that when you come to the continent and, like, for example, if the movies are right, you see that the guy will become friends with this girl forever, and when somebody else comes to ask this girl out and they date and he proposes marriage, he will run in slow motion on the wedding day. He will run to the church and say, "Oh, I love you, baby. Don't marry him. Don't marry him. I love you." And that is
Mhm.
what the movies say. So
Mm.
how do you guys say it? And then I would have loved to hear other perspectives to know the differences.
Yeah. Um, I haven't asked a lot of girls out personally. I think,
I will absorb you. Just flow.
but from what I've seen is asking a little bit out. Okay, let me use my own personal. In my last relationship I was in, which was about let me see, about 5 6 years ago.
She might be watching. Oh,
Yeah, well, maybe. Well,
I'm just
I'm talking
messing with
about.
you. I'm just messing with you.
Oh, it's
Don't worry.
okay.
I'm silly like
So
that. Mhm.
I'll be coming to the dating part, but I want to, especially those watching from the diaspora, to really understand,
Yeah. Yeah.
what, one thing I would say is that you should be very careful if you are dating a lady and it looks like you guys are sneaking around.
Okay.
You should be very careful with that. I say this because in my last relationship, I was with this girl, and you know, one day I had a call. I picked up the call, and it was her mother. On the other hand, on the call,
Whoa.
so she was like, "My daughter has told me about you, so I'm calling to confirm because I don't want a situation whereby I may be looking for my daughter, something will happen, I'll be call you, and you're like, oh, I don't know where your daughter is, I don't know where she is, and stuff like that. So I'm just calling to make sure that indeed you are the one with my daughter." That was the main reason behind the call.
Whoa.
She wanted to make sure that my daughter says she's with you, she's going out with you, you are the guy. I was like, yeah, I'm the guy. She was like, okay, that's what I wanted to know. So as time went on, things started being a bit, should I say, just misbehaving. And I was like, okay, I don't want to have a problem with your mom or anything. And me being the person I am, I don't want any trouble. So it's better we just call it quits. And that was it. Okay. So you should be very careful if you are dating if you're from a diaspora and you come here and the lady is dragging her feet, showing you to their parents, then you should be careful.
What does
You
that?
should be
Okay, I don't
careful.
I don't get it. When she's dragging her feet to
Showing you
show
the
you
guy
to the,
to introduce you to her parents, it's a red flag
Oh, okay.
because that will mean that it's either there is someone else that you don't know about, or maybe because maybe you are from the diaspora, so she is just taking you for a ride. Maybe to get some money or something from you, but not necessarily to be with you the way you might thought you want to be with her. And sometimes too, it could be that um, she just wants to have fun and not nothing serious. If a lady seriously wants to be with you, she will be the one on her neck. Come and see my mother. If you really want to
Yeah,
be, come and see me
meet
because
my
it is
parents.
my mother who carried me in her womb, nursed me, took care of me, and helped me grow to become the woman you saw on the streets or saw somewhere and you were attracted to. So come and see the person who made me who I am today. Okay. So yes, people today go out dating, they ask each other out, fine. But when if you're a guy, you should rather suggest to her that I want to come and see your parents. Okay. You don't go on a date one and then you move in together. That kind of life is not the best because it's something that I've seen happen in America a lot. People go on a date, they think they're in love, and the next thing they move in together,
Yeah.
and then they can be together for like years and not get married. If you do that, and that's why sometimes men sometimes take women for granted.
Yeah.
Okay? Over here, you don't get to move in with a lady you're not married to. People do it, but at the end of the day, it doesn't end well because when you move in together, you'll be doing for him what you're supposed to do for your husband. And
Yeah.
sometimes, women do that and then they wonder why the man is not proposing. Why should he propose if you're already giving him what you're supposed to give him as a husband? Why is he not even married to him?
Okay.
Because I'm cooking for him or washing his clothes or doing everything for him, but he's not married to you yet. So why should he? So over here, women are prince. They consider them to be royal. Okay, with this year, and this year no, and
Mm-hmm.
this year you didn't want to go. Until friend this year, and this one young one no upon room. They tell you that
Yeah.
our princess or our royalty is not snail that you can just pick from the bush somewhere and then
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. And
women here.
I'd
Okay.
like to add a little bit of what you just said. When you start living together, and I don't, what he's saying doesn't mean that there aren't people living together who are not married, or people don't move in together here when they're not
Mm.
married. But it is something that is really frowned on
Yeah.
in our communities. Moving
Let let
together with a man who hasn't married you is a
mm,
big deal. you
let,
know.
let, let me tell you a story my uncle told me about one of his friends who moved in with this woman that he wasn't married to, and then the lady got pregnant, but she died in the pregnancy. Okay.
Whoa.
Yes, and he said, "Whoa, now no trouble is coming." So the family really put the man through hell for not.
Yeah.
There's something say we like
Mm-hmm.
you've
Mm-hmm.
taken her for granted. You didn't respect her enough to come and see her parents and really marry her. You just thought that you met a girl, you can sleep with her and do whatever you want to do with her.
Mm-hmm.
They made her perform the rites on a dead woman.
So the marriage rights.
Yes, they made
Whoa.
him marry. I'm not going to tell you the tribe. It happened right here in Ghana. They made him while the woman was lying in state, or even before the woman was laid in state. They made her pay for her bride price, did everything, put ring on her finger, did everything to so that if you didn't glorify her while she was alive by getting married to her, you are going to do it while she's dead before you even bury her. And it got to a
Yeah.
point, things became so hard that my uncle had to run from
Woo.
the town that they were having. So, men from that should be very careful. Okay, go and show your face when I'm dating, a girl. Maybe if you've been going out with her, it depends on the duration the two of you have been going out. a week, 2 weeks, I think maximum 1 month, you should make the move. I want to go and see your parents. If after being with her for a month and you get to know that she's the one that you want to be, go and um, go and see your parents. Go and do
But
go and do.
some will argue that 1 month is a bit too soon to even know if this is the person or not.
No, the thing is,
Because in my dating world, I don't think 1 month is enough for me to know if I want to show this guy to my family.
well, showing the person to your family does not mean is not like you are going to get married to the person. Okay, just it is more of like letting your parents know that this is the person I'm going out with. Like for instance, in my case, for instance, with my ex wife, the mother was also calling me to tell me to come and marry her daughter.
Yeah.
She was calling to let me know that if her daughter says that she's coming to me, or if she's not finding her daughter, the daughter is with me. That's all she wanted to know. So introduce someone doesn't mean you're going to get married to the person. And let the person know, oh, this is my friend. Or if there are times that I'm gonna go out late at night, I'm with him. I'm with this person. So in case something happens, they know that this is the person that's with our daughter. Until then you guys got to know each other, and then when you guys want to get married, and later then you go and do the formal stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
but it also depends on the lady too. You know, as you said, it may depend. If you want to go and show the person to your parents 6 months, 1 year, that's totally up to you. But I think the men should be careful. You shouldn't make the mistake. You don't get to move. You don't move with a girl I'm married to.
Yeah. Yeah, I see.
You should be very careful on that, because no matter how the person, even you met the person in a club, or even the person is, excuse me to say, is a sex worker, you can't just take it for granted like that, because that person has family, and then when something happens, you will know that you may have met her, just her alone, but she belongs to a family.
Yeah.
And they will deal bitterly with you if you mistreat her. So you should be very careful when you are dealing with women over here.
Wow. And Felicia says the man showing I'm sure she's trying to say the man showing up is a sign of respect that he is the one dating their daughter. Okay, so
yes. So
yeah,
you just have to let the parents know that he or she is the one I'm with.
Okay, so Felicia is saying when a Ghanaian man meets a woman and the woman agrees to his proposal, then he sets a date and goes to the woman's parents with a wine to reveal himself to the parents. Is this something that is done? Like I want the tradition is there.
We call it knocking.
But knocking in my, because when you go for knocking, the relevance of knocking is to get a list from the woman's family. You don't do knocking without getting a list. So that is like, isn't that way too? Because I was trying to find out how you were saying that at least dating a woman for a month, you should show your face to his mother or a member of her family so people know that you're with her.
That is not knocking.
Sorry?
That is not knocking.
Yeah, that is not knocking.
That kind of someone, let me say, it gives you the right to come to the house.
Yes, it gives you the right to go to the woman's house.
You can come and visit her, you can come and hang around, but you can't do that when the parents don't know you.
Okay, so then is it not something like what you're describing is like, greeting the family, just showing your face one of these days, and the girl saying, "Hey mom, so this is my friend or my boyfriend, or this is someone I'm with for now." And then your mom say, "Hey, hi, how are you? What's your name? Where are you from? This and that and that." Okay, please take good care of my daughter. Is this what you're talking about?
Yes, it is. You still know how women here, some women here are very protective of their daughters.
Yes.
That women are very strict with who or the type of guy their children or their daughter, moves with.
Yeah.
So you should let your mom know that there is someone, either a friend or whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be a boyfriend or someone I'm going out with, but even if the person is just a friend, your mom has to know. Your mom has to
Yeah.
know the person. The mom has to know that, oh, this is AC's friend, or this is Adjo's friend, or this is, So it depends on. So that from that on, you can come around anytime you want to come around. You can come and hang out. You don't have to be a stranger. So that it doesn't look like the only time you guys can see each other is for the lady to sneak around and you guys are
Mm-hmm.
sneaking around. Just
Mm-hmm.
let the family know you and you to also know them.
Okay.
I think
So in this case, you're talking about a girl who lives with her parents, still living in a parent's house that you're dating. All right.
yes, in this case, but even if you were alone, yes, you can still date the guy, but sometimes you just if you look like things are going to be serious between the two of you, I think it is respectful to just let your parent know, even not show that the person um show the person to your parents. At least let the parents know that there is someone that you are seeing, and maybe things might get serious with time.
Yeah.
So it's all
Yeah.
about it's not only for recognition, but it's also for security to some extent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I see. Because I think that with anyone who has good intentions about for you in a relationship, and
Yes.
doesn't matter, he would meeting your parents. But this is not the culture of our diasporan brothers and sisters, unless someone want to come online and educate us more about what happens in the diasporan world. Okay, but this that we're talking about is the Ghanaian culture. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
of meeting someone and the processes you go through. Um, Even with our local culture, for me, I think when I meet someone, I really want to know that it's real before I even introduce you to any member of my family. Because if you're like someone who is not worth it, if it doesn't work between us, if I find it not working, I wouldn't want to show you to anybody. Maybe you might just know a couple of my friends, but then that's it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, how much do you think our culture in that sense has changed?
I don't think it has changed much, but I think it is in the because over here you can't marry someone like that. Like sometimes I watch in America, people go to Vegas and then they get married. They go. It's like they just go and then they get married. Over here you can't do that. Even if you marry and want to divorce, the family has to agree or sit down and talk before you can even go to the court to finalize the divorce. So um, I won't say a lot of things have changed. Now that we are now gravitating towards the Western idea of dating, taking a girl out and you know date, tell and stuff like that. Sorry, restaurants, going out to eat, stuff like that. But when it comes to um, the actual sense of dating, it's important. Like Chibaka said, "Mamu is the only never."
Yeah,
You see, my bush
yeah,
is the only urban never. So you are there with this woman or you're there with this
yeah.
man. Okay, so
But
yes,
David, in the olden days, this is how marriage was. Boy meets girl, girl likes boy, boy likes girl.
mm,
Boy tells mother, I saw girl, I like her. Boy asks girl, do you want to tell your mother I like you? Girl tells mother, I like boy. Then, well, no, that is olden days 2.0. Let's go to olden days 1.0. Family, especially mother, sees girl. Mother talks to girl's mother. I've seen your girl. I like her as a bride for my son. What do you think about my son? Oh, really? Girl's mother investigates boy's family. Boy's family investigates girl's family. There's no epilepsy in the family. There's no madness, trait of mental disorders in the family. There's no trait of strange diseases in the family.
Yes.
They are
They're
not
not,
a lazy family.
they're
The,
not
the
criminals.
boy, yes, they're not criminals. The boy has learned his trade from his father. The girl is obedient. The girl is not sneaking with everything in trousers. The girl, has been brought up in a home where she's capable of bringing up her own home. She's been trained in tradition, in everything, respectful. Then boy parents goes to him and say, Kweku, we found a wife for you. Kweku is super excited because he's not even allowed to talk to a girl
Yes.
unless he's of age. Okay. So Kweku is super excited. Girls, they are in those days, okay, when there was no Hollywood and there was no porn, girls were
Yes.
not like always so excited about marriage, But men were very excited. So they tell girl, we're going to marry you off to this person. It's the family who meets and decide. So the family will decide this and that and that and that. Okay, and once the family decides, that is it. You are getting married to boy, and so you go and stay with boy. Now you start to develop love for boy. So that was marriage.
An arranged
Yes, in the olden days, even relationships were frowned upon. If you like me, go to my parents. And girls too were very strict on that. To get a girl, give you her, cookies for just like that. No, because every girl wanted, her pride was virginity, and every girl wanted to make sure her virginity was reserved for her husband.
Yes.
So that was marriage. And then when you go and consummate the marriage, they bring the stain in the bed sheet to show that in fact you were a virgin. That is marriage 1.0. Then it now metamorphosed into, because of foreign, modern influence and all of that. Girl meets boy, boy meets girl, boy like girl, because they've probably been standing behind that tree for a while now,
Yes.
behind that tree, kissing and touching each other for a while now. So people are catching to it, and then boy has to tell, mother, Mom, I met girl, I like girl. Let's go and ask for girl's hand in marriage. And then mother asks girl, are you interested in boy? Boy says yes, I like him. Then family meets, they do their thing, they set a date, the marriage is done. So I would say that marriage, dating and marriage 1.0, dating and marriage 2.0. What we have today, okay, boy meets girl. Oh, boy loves the beard of boy. Girl loves the beard of boy. Oh, boy loves the way, the waist of girl. Then it catches on. Boy goes to date with girl. they keep going, and it quickly metamorphoses into something else, because it's all about the cookies these days. So boy girl end up living together. They're not even married, but they don't even care these days. You know, some
and
even
and
some even live together until they have kids before they even get
mm,
married. And you
and
okay,
that is why a lot of people today are miserable in relationships. Because people today don't take their time to go through a process. Let me talk about, you know, a woman must allow herself to be cherished by a man. Okay. I would say, as a woman, you should allow a man to fight for you, allow a man to treat you like, his little sister. Let me put it that way. In the olden days, yes, our parents were in our business because they were very good judgments of character.
mm-hmm.
Um, and they gave a child the money together. That's something I could say. I don't know where the wow. Don't where the why that we need that. And I
Yes,
man, I'm a dono. And they've been so dono. So, Bema, who are na and many me did the winning budget. But now, so if you're quite anymore, we need it because once they say something like our real plan, what independent warrior, which means marriage is a long journey. You see, because
yep,
divorce is like it is more or less like something that nobody wants to experience in marriage. Okay, you don't want to get married at 6 a.m. and then by 12 noon the marriage is over.
yeah,
So the reason why today there's a lot of divorce left and right is because people just don't take their time. A lot of them are making a lot of emotional decisions these days when it comes to relationships. Sometimes people get
yeah,
blinded by love. They don't really take time to really think about how they feel. They don't really they just move by how they are feeling, but not necessarily taking time to think about it. And I have I have seen how that really affects children that comes out of such relationships.
yeah,
It affects them. You see, so those who take that time, and it all depends. I don't know. It all depends on the woman.
mm-hmm.
It all depends on the woman and how much she cherishes herself, how much she respects herself, you know,
Okay,
and how much she
yeah,
loves herself. Because as I said,
yeah,
let a man cherish you enough to do what is right by you. You see, I don't know what to say. You see, the people today, especially with the millennials today, we move by the emotional, and then we have fed onto this whole Western idea of what a relationship should be, to a point that we have lost what it means to be in a relationship in an African society. Okay, so it, it's very bad. It's very bad. So
Felicia
you say like,
Taylor says nowadays some men want the women to treat them like their little sisters. Okay.
that's wrong.
But you see, that is what I just said, that is what is wrong with our society now. Because um the young people have just been told they can practically do whatever they want, regardless of what their wishes of their parents are, you know. And before, people, when doing things the traditional way, our young women were always taken care of, Our
Hmm.
women were always put in this family structure where they had somebody, like they lived in a family and community where
And you
everybody
see, yeah, and see,
was taken
so,
care of. Now
mhm,
nowadays it's like people are going about doing their own thing, and bringing in the family is at the very end, at the very, very, very tail end. People date people for like 10 years, for 5 years, and they're still dating, and until the marriage even comes in. But
yeah,
some people may also not see that as a negative anyway, because with demands of modern society,
mhm,
you would say that even getting marriage is a whole investment on its own. You
yeah,
know, people want to take their time and plan whilst they still have the opportunity to love and be with the person they want.
yeah.
So, what's your take?
Well, I think that let me start by talking about I know it is good for people to take their time to get to know each other. And then there's nothing wrong with that. But you agree with me that marriages that took their time, or marriages that people allow themselves, especially their parents, to not even their parents, but older people to really chip in their ideas, that marriage is too strong. Okay. But today, marriages are not really staying strong because a man or a woman would can tell who, because women know or parents know their children. They
Yeah.
know how they are. They brought them up. They know what they want. They know what they don't want. And sometimes they know their son. They know their daughter, and they can tell if a particular person will be good for them or not. Okay, they don't allow. Sometimes we allow love, this, our emotion. You can't make, you know life changing decisions like marriage based on how
Yeah.
you alone.
Yeah.
There are things that you just have to be, you have to apply. You have to really take time to really think. You have to sometimes put aside how you feel, and
Mm-hmm.
really, you know, think, assess the person, and ask yourself, can I be with this person for the next 5, 10, 15 years? People
Okay.
today don't do that. They don't do that. They don't take time to really investigate. So it's very important. Okay, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's why in the old days, our parents were investigating, finding out who this man is going, who the man wants to be with their daughter, or this woman
Mm-hmm.
wants to be with their son. Who is she?
Mm-hmm.
Where does she come
Yeah.
from? From that she belong to? Because when the kind of family you grew up in really shapes your character.
Yeah.
It really shows. I grew up in a family of where most of the people there were women. Okay,
Okay.
and those that listened to advice are happily married now. Those that didn't are not.
Yeah.
Okay, those that took their time for a man to really come after them and do what is right by them, they're happily married
Mm-hmm.
now. Those who
Okay.
didn't, they are not. They have children now, but they are not. They're not happy. So there's nothing wrong with taking your time. No, like in our today's world,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's something wrong with um taking your time and getting to know someone, but that you shouldn't do that at the expense of critical thinking. It
Okay.
must be applied. It has to be part of the equation. You can't remove it totally out of the equation. No, because we all know that relationship is not every day is not Christmas in relationship. The ups and
Yeah.
downs. There'll be times where this person will be angry. There'll be times where things will not go as you plan. So how is the person going to react when those times comes? Because
Mm-hmm.
it is not it's not fantasy and loving and and that's what people don't really take time to really prepare. It takes a lot of maturity to be in a relationship today. But unfortunately, people, the young people don't, we the young people come in, we don't really take our time to uh, consider some of these things before we make certain life changing decisions when it comes to relationships.
I see. I see. So, wow. This is really interesting because as we're here talking about what our cultural differences is, I would have loved to have someone from the diaspora to come on and tell us, what kind of stages that marriage, relationship, and dating, because it's really a huge part of our culture. It's just a bedrock upon which culture and tradition is built.
Yes.
So I would have loved for some of our panelists from the diaspora to join us today, but unfortunately, none of them were able to join us. And it would have been a very interesting conversation to find out the differences, to also find out the positives and the negatives, what we can improve, and what we should maintain. But in the same place, I think that we've learned a lot today. We've touched on greetings, we've touched on how to treat food, when you come across your African diasporans or Africans on the continent. We've also talked about the importance of greeting as an amazing tool of networking. All right. Hey, so Tony's here. Hello, Tony. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me, Tony? Hello? Okay, so I'm not sure. Yes, can you hear us? Hello? Can you hear me, Tony?
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can hear you, Tony.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to the Walk Africa show, and we're so happy you joined us because we're talking about the cultural nuances, the differences, the similarities, understandings that exist within our culture, and we started all the way from greetings, from food. Now we are at relationships and marriage, and we're treating that. And I'm glad you joined us because
Right.
I would like to hear from you how it's done. How does, first of all, how does a man ask a woman out or a woman ask a man out? Because we know the culture is a bit different in the West. And then how does it progress? What has become culture for or tradition for, from the meeting day till marriage? What has become tradition? The diaspora.
Wow. Well, America, I mean, it's like very, very different. I mean, if a guy just likes a young lady or whatever, he just asks her out. I mean, it's just like nothing. Just he sees her, he likes her, he asks her on a date. It really depends on her family too, though.
Okay.
It depends on
Well,
her family, and it also depends on her how serious she is about, if she's religious, if she's really serious about her religion. So it really varies. There is no certain, with the diaspora. There's no certain, oh, it has to be this way or that way. I mean, they can just be very open, or it could be according to her, like I said, according to her family or her church.
oh, okay. So what are some of the requirements of the family in that situation?
Yeah, like I said, it really varies. There is no certain, oh, it has to be this way, it has to be that way. And it also kind of depends on sometimes the class of the person. So, yeah, like if it's maybe I would say like maybe a middle class family, and they're both mother and father in the home, then that might be something that's more serious, where the guy, he can still ask her out on a date, but usually the father will want to meet him.
Oh, I see.
Hmm. Hmm.
Well,
But that
Felicia
doesn't
says,
mean that she won't still go on that date anyway, because in America, I mean, it's so free, she might just go
yes,
ahead and just do it without dad knowing.
wow. I see. So, well, Felicia says that in the West, the man, when the man is interested in the woman and wants to plan marriage, he then plans with the woman's family and surprise the woman with an engagement ring.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
okay,
it. Hmm.
okay.
Or if they're a
So,
certain age, if they're a certain age, they've reached a point of maturity, then the parents would just say, okay, well, it's up to them.
okay,
As long as they like the person, then it's no problem.
okay, okay. I
Yeah, I
Over
mean,
see.
here,
it's
So,
pretty.
David,
like
David.
David, what is that look David is doing?
Oh, yeah. David's got something to say.
David's got something to say. I can see it on his face.
I said, over here, it is not up to them just like that. You know,
Yeah, well, this is
uh,
America.
over here, no matter how old you are still a child to your parents. Like, yeah, you're old,
Hmm.
all right, but they still have a say in, especially when it matters that it involves you making life-changing situations, or some say decisions.
Hmm.
Okay, so you don't have to ask this because if you go and you are sad, if you go and it works out, it doesn't work out, you come back and cry to them. So they want to make sure that okay,
Yeah.
you guys are each other, you get married. Okay, so what are we supposed to do as parents? We have to really look out for you and really see that indeed, yes, you may love the person, but it is their job as parents to be objective, irrespective of how
Hmm.
you feel. Okay, and really see that I don't know if they give you the go ahead to be with this woman or this man, you won't come back and won't come back 6 months later or 2 months later crying and
Hmm.
saying that he's maltreating me, doing this, doing that to me.
Oh.
So it, it's important. The fact that the people are in love doesn't mean that you should give you the go ahead to guys get married, and that's why you know um, a lot of marriages are in the West are failing a lot because sometimes parents say, oh, they just let things go just like that. They don't really take the time to really let their children
You want to
get
be
to
on
know
YouTube,
who
your voice?
they're getting involved
The question.
Mm-hmm.
in. So
Well, I just want to add that when you come to the
marriage is very
continent,
different on
knowing
the continent.
knowing a couple of local words or local greetings and other things may get you a lot of friends. So you can put that in your mind. Uh,
Are you not
but
gonna do
what all you guys are saying is it like shows me.
right? Okay, I have.
So it shows
You're not gonna ask it?
how
No, because I don't know what to say.
it shows how the differences between the cultures and how we must all take note of what it is. So if you come to Africa and you've dated a woman for like maybe 2 or 3 months and she's asking you to come meet her mom, um how, okay, let me ask Tony, how would a guy feel or a typical African man feel when um when they come to Ghana and meet a woman and after 3 to 4 months this woman wants him to meet their family? How would they feel?
I'm sorry. I was talking to my coworker trying to see if she wanted to get online.
Okay.
Irvina, would you like to give your
Alright.
point of view? Okay, she says she's a little bit too liberal, so she'd rather pass. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. That's
Okay.
all right. So how does that feel for a guy in the diaspora if a woman he's been seeing for the past 2 3 months should ask him to go see her family. Hello, Tony, are you there? Hello, Tony, are you there?
I'll call back.
Okay. So I wanted to get her perspective on that. Okay,
But I think
because
it will depend on how much the man, how serious the man is towards marriage. I don't think it is something that will only apply to an African American man or an African man. I think if you've been with a man for 3 months and the lady suggests that let's go and see my parents, and if you really like her, as you claim you do, you would go. If not, you drag your feet a little bit. If you see someone's parents as something that you're going to get married to the person the next day.
so
It's
it
just
actually depends on how with the man's perspective on marriage and how serious he is about it, or
how
maybe
serious
how
he is
much he
about you
wants it.
as a woman, and how serious is about a family. But if you begin to drag his feet after 3 months, I think 3 months is it's too soon, okay, but it's also not too late or too soon to introduce such a man to your family as well.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. So ladies in the comments, I'd like to know, Felicia has said a lot. I'd like to know what you think. When in dating, is it appropriate to let the guy or the lady meet your parents? At what point, David, at what point is it appropriate? Do we have a timeline of that?
I won't say we have a particular timeline. I think it would mainly depend on the both of you and how much you like each other. How you think if you guys stay together is going to help you. So I think because some people can be together for 3 weeks and go and see their parents. Some people will be together for 2 years, 3 years, and will not go and see their parents. So it depends on who they are, what they want to do with themselves.
Okay.
Will determine if they are going to go forward or go ahead and go and see the lady's parents or not. So I think it depends on who they are and what they want to do.
Depends on who they are and what they want to do. Felicia says, I think American men don't have a problem with meeting your family unless they are not that serious about the girl.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's a red flag here, right here. If you've been going with a guy a long time, and every time you talk about meeting your parents, he's giving you this excuse and that excuse, just, beware. You might not be the one. If she's giving you all the excuses in the world, for meeting her parents, you might probably not be the one. So I think that is one of the first similarities. Well, not the first, about the second or third similarities that I see. I see that for the first similarities, we all date to some kind of a point. We all do our thing until we go home, And the second thing is meeting the parents is something that comes in when you're both serious with each other, And if after 3, 4, 5 months, this man is refusing to meet any, member of your family, then maybe, you should probably ask some questions. Or it could also be because of his job. It could be, other reasons, but you should be okay with the reasons to feel okay without him doing that, if you're serious about him or her. So hey, David, I wish we could go on and on and on because it's a very juicy topic, but all good things,
Yes.
all good things must come to an end. And I believe we've learned a lot, we've discussed a lot,
Yes.
we've learned a lot from both sides. And thank you, Sister Tony, for coming on. Thank you, Akuma Healing Arts Collection. You guys are amazing. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Felicia. Thanks to Keita. Thanks to Sam Tyler. Thanks to let me see, everyone who came on today. Your comments. Now I'm good. Thank you so much, NEJ Lives Lover. Thank you so much, you guys, for your comments and for chipping in. Iman, thank you so much. Thank you all, guys. Skin Deep. Hey, I see you, brother. Thanks for I see you, sister. I'm J34. Thank you so much for coming on. Yeah, Mr. Pirate Brain, thank you so much for coming in. Ken Kenyada, thank you. Ubuntu, I am because we are. Thank you so much. And to Kopamoja family, to Kopamoja. I'd like to say a huge thank you to everybody. I think I have acknowledged everyone in the chat. Yeah, I've acknowledged Kita, Sweeteen. Yeah, thank you so much, Sweeteen, for joining our chat. And David. Thank you so much. You're such an amazing gentleman. We really appreciate your participation
You're
on
welcome.
the program. Every time that Felicia is not going out until she comes out with how she's feeling. So she says most genuine men want to meet your family as soon as possible to confirm that you are taking him serious. You might be dating 2 or more men.
Yes.
Yes. So sometimes if the men are really serious about you, they want to check all the boxes because they don't want nobody trying to cross them at any point, So
Yeah. They don't want someone coming to make a scene on the wedding day.
yes, they don't want a scene on the wedding day. So they have to do what they have to do to make sure that it's clear that you're off the market. So yeah, that is it, family. Thank you so much, Felicia. You've been such an amazing resource to the program. We're grateful. Thank you so much, sweetie. David, I can't thank you enough. You're so amazing, and you made the show very interesting, and we learned a lot. Thanks for all the knowledge. Traveling photographer, thank you so much for coming on. You couldn't stay for long, but I would have loved to hear your your wisdom about the waist beads. I really wanted to hear that, but he couldn't stay long enough to give us more information about the waist beads. So please do call in anytime we treat this. Now get ready because we have more juicy topics coming up. We want something light. In our next topic is going to be something light. It's going to be something fun, interesting to talk about, something that will, diffuse some of the tension that we've been feeling over the past couple of days. So thank you so much, family. I love each and every single one of you. Please, if you haven't liked the video, please like it before you leave. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and help us reach 2,000 before the end of this August, So help us reach 2,000 before the end of August. Subscribe, and share our videos. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Tuko Pamoja, to every single person. Together we can achieve it. Ubuntu, I am because we are. See you again soon. Cheers. Cheers, family.